Hello and welcome to today's video. The footage that you're about to see has been accumulated over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Due to the time involved in prepping and painting the interior of a car and completely dismantling it, rather than drawing this out into multiple videos across the 2 to 3 weeks, we thought that we would include it all in one for your viewing pleasure. So what you're about to see is footage that is old but still relevant and hopefully enjoyable for you to watch. Enjoy. Morning, Supra's all stripped out, ready to go over to Ray so he can do body things and make interior look all pretty. So we're gonna roll it over. I know you guys have seen the exterior prep bay that they use, but we moved it out of being inside the shop because of dust reasons. So we'll roll it over there, let him do his thing. I'm interrupting this B-roll to bring you exciting news. The giveaway FD RX-7, where every $5 you spend on LZMFG or Drift HQ to get entered for a chance to win, no longer sounds like a fart machine. While the Supra was getting painted, Johan did his magical fab work and he recirculated the wastegates back into the exhaust. So when this thing gets into boost, no longer will you hear it open up and go rah! It should sound beautifully smooth and sweet now, so we're gonna take it for a drive, see what it sounds like. Killer merch on LZMFG, all the parts imaginable you could want on drifthq.com. Every $5 gets you entered for a chance to win. And just a reminder, our sales team, super smart. They know all the builds in all the garages with like the back of their hand. So if you have any questions, you want to replicate a setup like I have on a car, reach out and they can help you get dialed in with the right parts the first time. I'm like hella excited because I already know that this car sounded great when I would drive it around at like partial throttle. So now getting to floor it and not make fart poo-poo noises, it's gonna be sick. Okay, ready to see what she sounds like? Yeah. Dude.
So much better.
Instantly insanity better.
That's
like,
not,
it felt faster because there was no pain when you got on it.
Yeah.
Dude, before it just hurt your ears so bad. Like, we'll definitely need to put like a back-to-back juxtaposition, but like it's insanely infinitely better. I'm mad that I didn't do this for Connecticut because I would have enjoyed the car a lot more. This thing is so freaking good.
Yeah.
And it can be yours. Link in the description. Back to the content.
So basically I'm using thinner and I use a rag just to remove the sealant, like the residue that we have here.
Yeah.
Just wiping it off so it can be bare metal and cleaner, so we can just continue with the sanding and it will be easier and no stickiness around the area that we're gonna paint.
It won't gum up your sandpaper or
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah, it's not gonna get clogged or anything. So it's gonna make all the process quicker and easier,
Sick.
basically.
In addition to taking our time with really cutting and shaving whatever we can in the interior, you'll notice that we actually used Bondo to smoothen some of the surfaces. There are certain areas in the interior that are very high visibility, to where if you had a flat panel with some dents or some divots, adding Bondo and smoothing it out would really enhance the appearance. So going a little bit overboard here will just give us a lot better finish. And yeah, I'm stoked to see how it turns out. been working on a bunch of random, not so filmable YouTube-y stuff today, mostly like reels and other email initiatives. But end of day, I am excited. I'm taking out the R32 for its maiden voyage after it's been in paint for so long. I wish camera did the wheels justice, because they look so much lighter to my eyes, but in cameras and photos and everything, whenever I look at the car, they look like they're black. I hate black wheels. But if I could get the camera to do them justice, I promise they actually look really good. And it's funny, outside, I was kind of like not feeling the body kit or the fenders, but this thing actually looks sick. I think once I get it fully dialed in, dang, that rear fitment is insane. It's so good. And it doesn't rub. I can't believe it. We're back in the business. There's a Mustang up there, but I can't corner. Nor can he. I can just feel my diff unlocking and locking. Ready for a room under underpass? Oh no, yeah. Your windows are locked. No. It's okay, you only hear it out of mine. Are you ready for a real pull?
Yeah.
Alright, go fast.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
She gets down.
Oh my gosh, I forgot how fast this thing was.
Yeah, it's a big smile facer.
Or a terrified face.
I forgot it has flat shift. I hit the flat shift on the 3.4, but I didn't flat shift. I took my foot off the gas when I could have left my foot on the gas for the flat shift. Yeah, it happens to the best of us, I think, of course. We'll get another one and we'll do the flat shift, I think. I'll do the rolling anti-lag.
Okay.
So good. Good fun, good fun.
You guys been grinding away, no pun intended, but
Yeah, getting there, getting the body work done, cleaning up any areas. Like we have some stops that we have to cut out, like for threads that we don't need. Yeah, we're leaving the cage for last just because it'll rust off like quickly. So we're trying to leave it before we go right into the paint booth.
yeah,
That way it doesn't have a chance to rust out and stuff. So.
I gotcha. Looks like you guys got the majority of it already sanded up.
Yeah, it's pretty much, let's say it's like 80% there.
Yeah.
I still got maybe a little bit of body work left, just kind of smoothing out the areas that you're going to be looking at a lot from like this area or like the sides and stuff. So we're smoothing that stuff out and just getting more or less more presentable.
Sick.
Yeah.
More cardboard.
Yeah, we're making a template out of cardboard. This will probably have more pieces attached to it, but this is just the flat surface on the car, on the floor.
Yeah.
I'll have my rough plan through this, and I'll add tabs wherever I need tabs or reinforcement on below on the floor, because the floor has a step down. So I'll come up with a rough idea where things laid out. This is the down bar for the cage. The base plate goes in this area, and then the chassis has this cutout right there for a response a plate. So make all those things now, make it fit nicely, and then from there I could add the tabs and whatever else we need to add.
We are off to Ireland. While we're gone, the boys at the shop will be working on actually quite a few different things. Some love on the GTR, some love on the Barra Mustang. The R32 sedan is pretty much wrapped up now. My dad's car is pretty much wrapped up and get ready to get sent back to him. Check out the wheels, kind of like a last minute impromptu thing. Sean did RB25 big box in this, so it doesn't have the RB20 trans anymore. So he's got a new transmission, new drive shaft, new transmission mount, so he hopefully won't grind gears anymore. And then I had the faces redone and did titanium hardware and center caps. So Dad's got bling, but there's pretty much every car here is getting like those last little 10% bits that we never have time for while we're gone. And then when we're back, we'll jump back into the Barra Mustang, jump back into the Rotor Supra interior and stuff. There's actually a couple other fun things on the horizon. So anyway, we're off to Ireland, LZ World Tour. See you there. Johan's made a lot of cool stuff, including some gangster titanium work. But I think these heel plates might be my favorite thing he's ever made. I feel like they look pretty cool outside of the car, but when you guys see how gangster the fit is, like, you went way, way overkill. And I don't understand, how did you do this with a Dremel?
I have a lot of patience.
You see how perfect that came out?
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
It wasn't a Dremel.
How did you do it?
So I used the guy Bryce that Drift HQ uses for their logos on Duarte's builds. Hit him up. He stole the logo, literally stole it from the website, and made us these logos that we could rivet onto the plate. And these are stainless, so like they have a brush finish, so when they're installed, we'll wipe them down, they'll look a lot better. Like I said, cut them, or Wada cut them. He also sent my aluminum ones too, so but these look better.
I feel like these plates look so nice. If there were other, like a lot of other people building Supras, this would need to be a product. Like this looks like something you would buy online.
Literally. Why they gotta keep saying.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the process for doing these dimples? I haven't seen that.
So we have a die that you make a center hole, and then that die has a bolt, and then you punch out the hole. So that is the perfect size of the dimple die that we use to press onto the metal and forms that dimple. So you draw a pilot hole, and then the kit comes with a piece that you press together, and it will cut out that side, this hole here, and then you switch the die to a die that has a dimple in it, and you're literally squeezing it, and it's formed so that when it's completely squeezed, it makes this dimple, and that's pretty much it.
Well, I was gonna say, and if you didn't notice too, this is the same prismatic powder, wrinkle black finish, kind of gangster that we can do powder coating here now. Or we're gonna get spoiled real fast.
Yep.
Wait till we build something that isn't wrinkle black and we have all the neon colors like Colette.
Yep.
That's when it'll get wild.
That's when the piece like actually is like all down. Like when you did I did the powder coating on it, and it's just like, now we made this from scratch, from cardboard.
It's sick.
So here, it has a step, pretty much.
How did you do that?
On the B-roller that you've been using.
But it's not like bead rolled though, it's like the whole thing's down.
Yeah, it's just a different die. So
Got it.
the die you're using for the Daxon, it has like, it's just a beat literally all around where you.
I understand, but yours is maybe just one
a
side
step.
angled.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a step, so when you roll it, it technically raises up on this side.
Damn, so I could get fancy and I could do a step and then do a bead roll inside of the step.
Yep.
Yo, you better chill.
You know, I'm redoing the Datsun. We're quite a few days past the original footage. We wanted to give proper time for the interior to cure, although we do have the oven working in the booth right now, which is huge because it cures the paint a lot faster. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but we went with a single stage red on the interior. It doesn't see the sun a lot, so we're not worried about fading. And speaking with a lot of the guys that build cars over in Ireland, they had good luck with single stage being pretty durable for interior stuff. So that's what we did. Came out really good. Ray and Josh did some wet sanding just to get the finish perfect, but I'm happy with it. Now we can start to put all the pieces back in the car and where it starts to look whole, because right now it's like super, super red. And I know before at one point I mentioned that I want to do a white cage on the car, but that was back when I had white wheels, and I kind of like the look of it being, I don't want to say like pro race car, but like if you order a cup car from Porsche or like from BMW, usually the whole chassis is one color, so that was the idea with doing it red. I don't plan on changing the base color of the car, and I want this thing to look like a pro race car. So all one color on the inside, and now's the fun part of assembling all the pieces and getting to see what it looks like when it's not completely too red. I guess depending on how involved you've been with the Supra build, you may or may not notice that this gas pedal is different than what we had before. That's actually the stock gas pedal because I'm wanting to convert this car over to drive-by-wire. When we wired the car, we knew that was something that we were going to go down the road towards, but just didn't do it initially because the ITB setup that I ordered was intended to be used with a cable. And what drive-by-wire will allow us to do, especially with the sequential, once I start doing more road course stuff with this car, which is a goal of mine to also grip drive it, it'll allow us to have the engine automatically blip on downshifts. So with the sequential, I can downshift and there'll be like a mathematical strategy, so it'll know what the wheel speed is, it'll know what RPM it needs to blip it to, and it'll be a perfect downshift. So it'll be like being a PDK Porsche and be like rim, rim, rim. Yeah. We have it kind of set up on the Baron Mustang, but we never got a wheel speed reference, so that one's kind of just like a generic blip, where this one should be perfect every time. One other interesting thing that you can do with drive-by-wire, sometimes, oh, there's no ITBs on it right now. Sometimes on ITB cars, they actually make more torque if you're not floored. And I think that I know this because it's the situation with certain BMW motors, like maybe it's S54. So like you could map the throttle to basically tell it to, if you're floored on the gas pedal, it could be like 70% of the throttle's open until it's at an RPM where it wants to be all the way open, basically increasing velocity through the runners, giving more torque on the low end, and then allowing them to be fully open up top when it needs to suck as much air as possible. Probably the next episode that you'll see with the Supra, we'll dive into the new intake manifold that Johan's designing to work with the ITBs, making some adjustments to the collector, the exhaust, in order to potentially change sound a little bit, but mainly focused on getting our power band where we want it. So that'll be a fun one. We'll have it on the dyno and we'll see overlays, making small changes back to back. Because the NA stuff is a totally different ballgame than the turbo stuff. Turbos, we just throw more boost at it. This is the science. It's obviously not completely back together. We are waiting on the center console to get clear coated so it blends in with the seats. But overall, looking at this thing, I love how good the red ties together with the black. I think it's got definitely like a pro GT race car style vibe in the interior. More than anything, I'm excited to see what the roof's gonna look like on it. So I'm gonna grab it. This will probably be the last thing that we'll put on the car, but we can rest it on now and get an idea what it's gonna look like. It's actually really nice to work on with all the light that gets shined through right now. So that's why we're waiting. Yeah, I mean, I guess the interior looks the same, if I'm being honest. Didn't really change anything of that, but the roof looks cool.
Yeah.
You can see it from the inside looking up at the roof, so that's pretty cool. Before we had all the goo and stuff from the old headliner insulation, so it's looking pretty gangster.
The red cage on top of it looks good though.
I know, good amount. And it looks a little bit like too much red, I feel like right now, but once we put the center console in, it'll break that up a little bit. What I could do too, I'm not a big fan of it, but instead of clear brawling the cage like I normally do, you know, people do like those carbon like pieces that clip onto the cage. That could actually look nice on this if I feel like there's too much red.
Well, you got a lot of carbon in the interior too.
Oh, you know what's gonna look sick though?
What?
The inside of the doors is carbon. So when the doors are in, the inside of the doors are carbon. We're gonna close that video here. Very, very, very exciting news. We finally have everything that we need to put the Bear Mustang back together and to dive into that fully. So that thing you guys are gonna be seeing in the next video. We got some new spicy parts for it. Probably put it back in the dyno, make sure everything, oh look, he's teasing us. Look at what this thing's gonna look like. Hell yeah, we even got the red pulls on that bit. Yeah.
That works well.
That works really well. All right, next video, Bear Mustang. Get ready, you guys have been asking for it. Finally put the time in. She's coming back, and she's gonna be spicy. Okay, ready to see what she sounds like? Yeah. Dude.
So much better.
Instantly insanity better.